Hey, this is Rockin' Papa Bears podcast. Welcome, everybody. And we want to welcome our friends, our guests, Crimson Overtone. That's Christina and Evan out there.
Howdy,
Say
howdy, howdy.
hello. Yay. Yeah. Wave. So, hey, this is it. This is it. This is we're going to have a great conversation today. So, you guys, your music, your song, I should say, that you just released. We're going to be talking about that, obviously, and looking at a video. But Victims of War. And just to let you know, I voted for your song. So, so, but yeah, I really like this song. As soon as you sent it to me, Christina, I went, wow. It was, yeah, it blew me away. I did enjoy that song. It was, and I still do. I mean, I can't wait till everybody hears it. I'm sure it's getting out there already, but everybody, you need to know this is a great song, and you're going to hear it today. Tell us a little bit about it for our audience so that they know what it's about. And we talked a little bit about it in our last podcast, which was a quarter blue. By the way, this is going to be brought to you by Quarter Blue. This whole show, okay, is brought to you by Quarter Blue. They're my sponsor, Martha Nick Swade, the founder, and a dear friend of ours. Um, so just wanted to put that in there, and I'll show you information later for a Quarter Blue, how you can reach them if you're interested. But again, Victims of War, tell us what was behind the song.
Well, Victims of War, it's such a cool thing because it was actually written by a former member of our band, Emmy. She uh, used to sing along with me, and she wrote these lyrics years ago and graciously allowed us to keep on to them after she left the band. And so we were just really excited and honored to be able to take those and bring those to life through the music and the way that we've got it put together now. Evan probably has a lot more he could say than I can, but I'm really thankful that we got the opportunity to bring her song to life and to allow her to still be part of the band, even though she's moved on and is doing other things now.
Yeah, so it was kind of fun. She brought me the lyrics, and I didn't have to change almost anything. I mean, I changed a couple of words, I think, for the sake of flow, but it didn't change the context of the content at all. And I thought that was really super cool. And was able to sit down with it and put some play around with my guitar and put a melody to it. And the first iteration sounded like Foo Fighters, which I mean I was fine with. I like Foo Fighters, but then it sat on the shelf for a while, not really knowing how to complete it because we didn't have any real inspiration. Like it was good, it was there, it was like but it doesn't fit. And then we had another guitar player, Will, come by for a while, and he and I had a lot of fun goofing around with cool riffs. We'd be up till 1 or 2 in the morning playing around with cool riffs. And we were showing Christina some of those riffs one day, and she started singing Victims of War. We're like, oh my gosh, that's it. So I put all the riffs together, and it's what you see now, what you hear now. That's the short story. And where'd he go?
Well,
Hi.
hello.
We're here alone.
I
Let's see here.
think we may have accidentally lost Papa Bear.
Yeah, where'd he go? Well,
I'm
it's
sure
still
he'll be
rolling.
back.
Christina, do you have any questions for the band?
Have any questions? I don't know, but there's somebody in the chat. Let's see what's going on down here. Hi, person. Hello, I can't see your name. I'm sorry. Trying to find you.
I see one person in the chat, but I see no.
Yeah, I can't see anybody's names. Well, if you're in the chat, say hi. We can see comments.
Oh,
over
there's more
here.
people in the chat.
Okay, that's good. That's exciting. Hello. Welcome. We are accidentally by ourselves. Oh, he's
Oh, not
back.
anymore.
Yay.
No, I'm back. We're gonna have to try that again.
That was interesting.
Oh, okay. This is what happens in live.
That's right. That's why it's fun.
Okay. We finally got it. We got it. We're back. I was like, what happened? I'm lost. I'm out of it was like, no. Okay. Anyway, we're back to normal here. You were talking about victims of war, so we're going to get back into the conversation. Here we go. Live, folks. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if. Oh no, I'm lost again.
No, you're still here.
No, yeah, we were.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Talk about victims of war. Yeah, you were talking.
How much? So I don't see access to the. Do you see access to the? We have a couple people in the stream.
Yes, I see two people. I have one person gave me a thumbs up.
Do they have a specific question?
Nothing yet.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my comments on, so they should be able to tell me.
All right. So did everybody hear? Did everybody hear what I said about how the song developed, or no?
You were starting, and I think then all of a sudden we went. Pew.
Oh, okay. So
we both disappeared.
We both disappeared. I see.
We did a disappearing act.
That's right.
Isn't this cool? We just appeared again.
So,
go ahead.
No, on my end of it, Emmy brought me the lyrics, and I didn't have to change a whole lot. Couple of really minor words, but it was in the whole exactly as she wrote it, which I thought was really, really super cool. And it started out as a song when I sat down playing with guitar riffs and melodies and stuff, and it started out sounding a lot like a Foo Fighters tune, which I like Foo Fighters, so I didn't have Foo Fighters. Yeah. And but then it shelved because it didn't quite fit anything we were doing. Even though we all liked it, it didn't really fit what we were doing. So it how many years now? It shelved.
Oh man,
4,
at least 5.
Okay, yeah. So it sat there for a long time. We bring it up from time to time. What about this one? No, it ain't working. And so we had another guitar player, Will, who was playing with us for a while, and he and I clicked really well. We would be up jamming till 1 or 2 in the morning, sometimes just messing around with riffs. And we were showing Christina one practice. We were showing Christina these riffs that we came up with, and she all of a sudden started singing the melody and the lyrics to the original Victims of War. We went, oh, that's it. And so that was the beginning. And then we started the production process and into what you guys hear now. So
yeah. By the way, I like your new design and your name and stuff, because I'm wearing it, but it is one of my favorite sweatshirts. Although spring and hot weather's coming, I'm not going to be wearing it too often. But
we have super comfy t-shirts too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the t-shirt for sure. And hey, do you guys do hats? I'm a hat freak. You ask my wife, I probably got over 100 hats.
Yeah, we've got a beanie on the website right now. The problem is we haven't been able to find a style of hat that we really like the production
Yeah,
on.
I know what you're saying.
The snap-on thing.
Something in nice form and nice shape.
Yeah, so
adjustable, right?
We're looking for a company that'll do hats that have like a good solid shape to them and that are a little bit more universally appealing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, when you do, I'll be having one. So, but so that's about the song. Yeah, I had heard you guys talk about that before. You were on Rock for Him, and that was good to watch y'all on there. I like my fellow podcasters, all those people that are out there. We love going out there and promoting the people that we really like and put them out there. So a shout out for you guys at Rock for Him.
And we fixed the echo.
Yes.
It's gone now.
I like that. Yeah. I remember when we were bouncing. You remember the last interview we did with Martha?
Yep.
And we had to mute each other.
Oh man, that was rough.
Yeah. But you know what? It was a great podcast. So, but anyway, so the other thing I'm going to let people know is, and I'm not going to give too much away because I don't want to do that. There's more to this project besides the song and stuff, and it's in the works. But Papa Bear here and a few other guys had something to do with some of the things that are going to be happening on that album. Not musically, but so I just wanted you all to know. You're gonna be like, okay, what is that? Well, we're not gonna tell you. You know what? I'm not gonna let it out until it's very time. Unless you guys are, wanting to tell people.
What I can say is that you guys will definitely be hearing more from Papa Bear in the very, very near future with some of our next. I'm trying to think of how to explain it. I guess almost like trailers. We're calling them mini-sodes right now.
Mini-sodes, yeah.
Mini-sodes, some like little things in between releases that we're going to be putting out, and you'll be hearing some of Papa Bear in there as our lovely narrator voice.
Yeah, and I won't sound like I do right now. So, I've been warning people. I said I use an acting voice. So I said, so what you hear isn't what you normally hear when you hear me talking. So I try to explain to them it's not going to be the same when you hear me. But everybody's excited. I've told certain people close to me, so they know. Okay.
Oh, it's going to be really cool. I'm excited.
I'm really excited.
I think about it all the time. Talk about it all the time. It's like, still have more work to do. Dang it.
Yeah. But it'll be great. And I think I'm really excited because this first song, like I said, you guys sent it to me. I said, oh, wow. Okay. This is going to be great. This is going to be good. And I'm looking forward to the rest of what's coming. Okay. We're all excited about it. So with that said, tonight, as I told everybody, we got a lyric video. Okay. And so with permission, Crimson Overtone, I will play this for you. Okay. So we'll add this, I believe, to the stage.
There we go. Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do the thing. Oh, wrong way. Sorry. I fixed.
We know what darkness looks like. Been paralyzed by the storm. what shattered feels like. And we can't take it. Can't say I never tried. I'm still rebuilding this love. We'll come back to love. Brick by brick, line by line. We know what chaos is like. 'Cause we're all soldiers at war. We know what darkness is like. And we won't take it. Don't say I didn't try. I'm still reclaiming these hearts. We'll come back to life. Brick by brick, line by line.
I will praise you, Lord. You have lifted me up. Not let my enemies rejoice over me. I cried to you for help, and you healed me. You have brought up my soul from hell, and you have kept me alive, that I would not go down to the pit.
Awesome. And there you see, guys, where you can get it. All those special sites, Spotify, Pandora, all them. So you guys tell them exactly where they can get all that music.
Yeah, if you want to find us, we
All the
like to
places.
be in all the places. Where you are, we try to be. So
There
wherever
we
you
go.
like to listen to your music. Yeah, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Pandora, YouTube, what? Take your pick.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I do Spotify. I think I have Spotify. That's where I go. But it was great. Anytime I see military type stuff, I was a Marine, so that stuff kind of it's ever clear in my memory. It's funny. That's like old World War II, isn't it? Footage, right? Interestingly enough, there's even a connection between us Marines that were more recent and those guys that were fighting in World War II. We still have we share a bond. And, just understanding what it is to go to a whole different part of the world, foreign country, and fight. And the reason I bring this up, we're talking about victims of war, and being soldiers. You were talking about that, right? Just that we're soldiers at war. Okay. I've been in combat. I've seen that kind of stuff. So I understand that. And I understand, getting on your knees and praying, especially because we had to down there. But that's why I said this is so important to everybody, spiritually speaking. We are soldiers. We are, we're fighting a battle, an invisible battle. Okay. But we are definitely fighting a battle. And I think that you guys were talking about that also. You've been posting that. Is that correct? Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even
Yeah.
even though the enemy is unseen, the
Mm-hmm.
ripple effects are very much seen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You may not see the atomic bomb go off, but you will see the shockwave. You will feel the shockwave. All of us have.
Absolutely.
Crazy stuff happens in a way that we don't understand it. And next thing you know, we're like, how did we get here?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I mean, and that's what it is. And it's the same for everybody.
Mm. Yeah. And that's exactly it. You know, 1 minute you're just quietly sitting somewhere, and I'm using example for even as a Marine. We're sitting there, and all of a sudden somebody's trying to shoot at you. That's kind of surreal because you realize they're trying to kill you. Okay, and you know, but you don't see the enemy. You only hear the sound of the whistle of the round going over your head, and it's a frightening thing, you know, but you've got to get some sense about you. And that's the good thing I learned in the Marines that you can apply to spiritual things is we couldn't panic. What we did, we had to get our wits about ourselves, get calm, right, and do our job and find the enemy. See, that's exactly what we have to do, right, as believers. Don't lose your wits. Don't go panic. The enemy comes at you. You calmly, just as a warrior, you just get focused, and you know, and I think that's the lesson I would put out there is that you get focused, and you can beat the enemy,
and you can beat him. If I can add, you can beat him because it reminds me of the story of that I heard about the 2 pilots that got shot down in Iraq.
Yes.
The entire U.S. military, all of its might, was like, nope, for our guys. Just 2 guys in the middle of a desert. And here comes everything. Dude.
Yeah.
You seen one C-130 gunship?
Right.
Just one is terrifying. Now, how about all of them? I'm exaggerating. Yeah. But still, holy cow, man. But that's the way it is with us here, too. Like, you get your wits about you. You can go out and win the battle because the creator of the universe is there. Right?
Absolutely. Right. Right.
That's the commanding officer. That's not the commanding officer, but he's the one who's given all the orders. Yeah. The one that's supplying everything. He's the one that said, this is where you're going to go. This is how you're going to do it. And I got your back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we don't have to give up.
And might I add something that blew my mind recently? He's also the one who created the enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The enemy is powerful, but we're on the side of the guy who made that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it from Job. The enemy has to ask.
Mm-hmm.
He has to ask. So that's one of the places that I personally have been taking huge encouragement recently, because I get sad, I get angry, I get frustrated, I get hurt, all that stuff, but it's okay. I can be those things. I'm allowed to be those things now. Because what's happening is exactly like going to the gym, or if you think about what they do to you in boot camp, it's exactly like boot camp. They're building you up, but they got to make sure that you're not your own boss, that you're not your own sergeant, that you're not your own colonel. That can't happen, because you know what? Then you don't have anybody backing you in war but you. That's not good.
Yeah,
so
and that's
with us.
Right. That's what it exactly is and I always use this analogy with people because I did the military thing, and I said, we learned what team is. Okay. We had every guy's 6, or we had his back. Okay. And so that means a lot, believe it or not. I remember when I was in Panama, and like I said, there was some noise, and we thought the enemy was out there. And my sergeant, he was a black sergeant, and Sergeant Sias, I'll never forget his name. He took me, and he said, okay, and he had his hand on me. It was by the way, jungles are pitch black at night, so you can't see anything, hardly. And we had to put our hands on each other just to make sure we had contact with the guy that we were with. All right. And Sergeant Sias said, "Are you okay?" And he kept asking me if I was okay. I said, "No, I'm fine." but he's watching out for me, and he was looking out for me the whole time, and I felt safe. I really did feel safe. I mean, having all these guys, and we were armed to the hilt. I had nothing to worry about. I knew exactly, and that's why I say, that's how it is with the Lord. He's with us, man. He's walking right with us, and we don't have anything to fear. Really nothing at all. And if we work as a team, that's the other thing. Our brothers and sisters in Christ and those that surround us, okay, can really help us, and we need to go to them, not try to deal with it by ourselves. Like you said, you can't do it. If I was by myself and so I didn't have Sergeant Sias and the other guys, I'd be scared out of my mind. Okay. Okay. I don't know what I'm coming up against. The enemy might be outnumbering me. Okay. But if I got these guys right next to me, I'm good. And that's exactly what it is with our brothers and sisters in Christ. They need to be, we need to fellowship with them. We need to go to them with our concerns and say, I need prayer in this. Can you come pray with me? And, and we come in agreement together. So that's what we need to do. And I liked something, Christina, you had put up something, a matter of fact, recently, you posted something about that. What was it? There were 7 things, or you have to tell.
What they are.
So while you look, if I could
frame
everything that you were saying while she's looking.
Yeah, frame everything that you. Yeah.
Another is, it's the perspective of what you're talking about is really important, because it's so commonly understood that it's body first and then soul and spirit. No, the body is nothing more than let's use a Humvee, right? An armored Humvee, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all the body is. The person driving the Humvee is the soul, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the person driving the Humvee knows where he's going, that Humvee is going to take an awful lot of abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the person driving it is going to end up making it to the mission regardless of, up to a certain point, regardless of the abuse that Humvee is going to take. And then when he goes through his mission and comes back, there's a host of mechanics that are going to come back there and put that Humvee back together. Yeah. Right. That's how it works. So the perspective with everything that we're talking about has to be from the perspective of eternity. We are a soul long before we are a body. David said, "You knew me before I was in my mother's womb." So when we get everything flip-flopped and we start thinking, "Oh, I'm not safe because my body's not safe." No, dude, you're not safe because your soul's not safe. Because when your soul is safe, when you know that you're in a place where you're in alignment with the God of the universe and the creator, and when you've got your brothers and sisters in arms around you, your soul is going to make decisions that are going to directly affect your body. Therefore, your body is going to be safe because your soul is safe, not the other way around, right? It's going to change everything about the way you do life, period.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's spiritual, right? It's, people, of course, we're in the world, so we think in the flesh sometimes.
Right,
So,
exactly. Like most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, this is a good thing. And we're talking about victims. By the way, I'm going to bring this up here because, like I said, these are special friends of ours. If I can get to it, I want to make sure I get the right address up because I didn't have it right the last time. Oh, there it is. I want to get it the current one. Okay. These are friends of ours at A Quarter Blue. They're victims of sexual crime, and they have a trauma recovery center. And I just want to take a minute just to tell you about that, education and training services. If you want to know more about them, we are supporters of them. Info at aquarterblue.org, www.aquarterblue.org. You just go there, and Martha Nixwade is such a sweetie. You just need to get a hold of her, and she'll set you up with a shirt, which I got mine. I was so happy. Did you finally get yours?
Yeah,
good.
There's a bag. There's bags right there.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, we got here we go. Yay. There it is. Okay. You guys, you get a shirt if you donate, and also you get material. She's gonna, oh, there it is. Yes, that is the back, and the front has the hands.
Yes.
And, yeah.
There's 3 of them. There's all kinds of different fun things we got.
Ooh, look at that. That's awesome.
There was one more. I think you wore this one last time we were on.
Yep, that was one. Yep. But those are all the shirts a Quarter Blue has, and they'll give you also material. Yes, absolutely. And it looks just like what she's showing. That's to hand out to friends and stuff like that, or people that go to church with you if you're in a church. But give it to schools. Give it. It's not just church, but schools and other places that really could use this. Martha will more than she'll be more than happy to come to wherever you are in the country. Okay, and come and talk to you and talk to the kids and parents and stuff like that. But it's a great organization. So I just want to take a minute because we're talking about victims, and that was victims of sexual crime. We have talked about it before. If you haven't seen that podcast, go ahead and go back and look at it. You're welcome to, and you'll hear all the details about it. But just a shout out for our dear friend Martha Nix Wade, who started this A Quarter Blue. So anyway, back to the conversation though. We are we're talking about victims of war and stuff like that. What has your response been by the people who have heard it so far or seen the
Definitely
video?
more up on that than me. I hide in my studio and my motorcycle shop. That's what I do.
Yeah, I've been just really thankful. I think we don't always get to see responses firsthand. You don't always get people like intentionally reaching out to say, "Oh, hey, this is really good," or "Wow, this really spoke to me." But I've actually gotten a couple. I'm not going to say we've been like flooded with messages or anything, but I've definitely been reached out to by a couple of people who heard the song and felt moved enough to send a private message to say, "Hey, this is really, really good," or "Wow, this really spoke to me," or whatever the message was. I'll be with permission sharing a few of those pretty soon. Just
Good.
Gratitude because it is such a special thing when people take the time to actually share their thoughts with us. It means a lot to me for sure. I keep a little folder on my computer with like all of the nice things people say because generally in this industry, there's a lot more people that are out there to tell you their opinion on how you could be better. And we can definitely learn from that. But it's nice to have the positive to look back on too, so that it's, we can be reminded in the moments where the enemy is attacking our value and our worth and our purpose, have something to look back on and say, nope, because this right here says otherwise. So I'm super thankful, and people have so far been really loving it. Everybody's been loving the jump in production quality. Thank you so much, Jason. You are amazing. In the jump in quality, they've been loving the new movement towards this more cinematic vibe that we've got going on, which is super fun. Yeah. So just all around pretty positive feedback so far.
Yeah, I imagine. I heard a couple people, or at least one person, make a comment, and it's a young lady that was on that Rock for Him podcast with you. What's her name?
Kira.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was talking about you guys and real excited about what you had released, and so was I. I was just like I said, this is, man, I'm hitting my eyeglasses on my mic. Oh my gosh. We love to laugh, don't we, though?
Yes, very much.
I have a good time with that. And that's one of the things that I try to do, keep things light, man. I just you need to be kind of being willing to tell jokes. Look, I was on a podcast recently, not recent, but on Road Less Traveled, which are my friends Paul and Bry, and I'll have to tell them about you and get you on their show, okay? All right, they're called Road Less Traveled, and they cover rock, heavy metal type stuff. But they're my brothers, and they had me come on their show and talk about what I did. That's the first time I've ever done that with anybody. And I brought on a friend, and it was Kermit the Frog, and they got a kick out of that. They said, "You have them with you?" And I said, "Well, I'll have to go get them." And I just came. I brought on Kermit the Frog. So that's because I do his voice so well. I just impersonate his voice so perfectly that I used to work in puppets and church ministry. I've worked with young people, by the way, all my life, just so you know that. I did puppetry. I was a puppet director. I actually had young people under me. And so I've worked with youth. And I've seen what they go through. I mean, I was a young person. We all were young people at one time, right? And I took them to rock concerts. I had a good time doing that kind of stuff, And but today's youth, I got to tell you, they're more in peril today than they were in the day that I was dealing with young people. I think it's gotten worse. What young people are facing. With our social media, because honestly, back at the time, you agree with me, I'm sure, Evan and Christina. Back in the time when we were growing up, social media wasn't all over the place. Okay, they weren't being bombarded by sex, violence, drugs, all that stuff. But now it's coming from them from every direction. And what do? They get the phones literally in front of their face. They showed people walking up and down the street, young people, and they got a phone in front of their face, literally all the time. They're literally in bondage to all the things that are on this phone, and so we're talking victims of war. This goes right back to all this stuff. The devil is fighting. Us, for the souls of we're fighting for the souls of them, and they're fighting for what I'm saying. And it's a battle, and it's far worse than it's ever been for young people, I think. What do you think?
I agree completely. There was a funny commercial. I forget who it was by. Oh, it was by I guess it's Pinterest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Pinterest commercial, and it had this young girl asking, she might have been like, I don't know, 10, but she was saying, how did they, and it had all these pictures of folks in our generations growing up, how we were riding bicycles without helmets and knee pads. We were riding down the road on road trips without safety belts. We were just things like that. All the things that anybody our age remembers doing. It's like, yeah, we're not dead, No. And then, like, how did they do that? And then this question says, how did they know who they are without everybody telling them? It's a really fantastic commercial. It's really mind blowing commercial. And the point of the commercial was like, hey, this cool stuff is up here on Pinterest, but get off the stupid phone and go outside and do something. And that was that's my iteration of the point of the commercial. I'm probably, but whatever.
That's true. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, we could do that. All the same stuff existed, but now it's like people can almost reach through the phone.
Yeah,
it's almost tangible. It's so scary.
That's something. Yeah, that's
it's really bad. And then people who used to be out riding their bikes around neighborhoods, I mean, to be honest, for the longest time, I didn't even want my daughter to go out and ride her bike in the neighborhood, because you hear all these stories around here about people just getting snatched up off their bicycles.
Yeah,
nah, man, really? I mean, anyway, I don't want to get up on a soapbox. This is gonna make me mad.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why I'm in a metal band. That's why I wrote the song.
Yeah, I mean, And we laugh about this. I've fallen so many times. I don't even know how. I got a brain because I'm sorry. I fell off. I had the banana seat
Oh
bike,
yeah.
with the handlebars like this.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
The old
back in the 70s.
twin Stingray.
Yep. And I was riding like, and not, and you know how kids are, but I wasn't paying attention, and I hit a parked car with my bike full, and I went over the handlebars and I got knocked out. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
literally was knocked out, and this guy picked me up, and I was kind of in a daze after I came to. He says, "You okay?" He didn't care about his car, and which was nice of him, And he drove me home and took me home. Now today, strangers, any of this kind of stuff is not safe. It's not safe now, and and I just said, yeah, things have changed. Definitely have changed. It's not a safe world, and like you said, these things in social media reach out and almost grab these young people and draw them in. And we're here to fight for them, though. And I know that that's what the Lord would have us to do. Pray over them. My wife and I pray over my nephews, my nieces, our great nephews. Yeah, we're at that point, great uncles. But and no, my wife and I get together and do that, and we pray over hedge of protection around these young little ones to the, what I'm saying, to the children, and or teenagers even. We pray for that all the time because we know the world we live in. We need to pray over them. It's a nonstop thing.
I can share something that I personally think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
She's everybody's favorite teacher.
Yay.
So she does elementary school teaching, and the stories that she's brought back about some of the hell that these kids are living in. And,
yes,
she ends up being their favorite teacher. And I get those stories too. And I think it's kind of amazing. That's what we need, is people that can go in there and do that. So aside from jumping around on stage and making a whole lot of racket, you love kids.
Yeah, I know. I bet that's true, Christina. My wife would probably get along with you, Christina, because she works in a school in the cafeteria. Okay. But what she sees at that school, all right, is our children that are unruly, got foul mouths. Nobody ever says anything to them. It's a middle school. Okay. And, the teachers don't control them. They control the teachers, is basically the way it goes. But it's rough. And these are kids from the inner city. I say that because I live in Lynchburg, and we've got a city-fied area. Okay. And that's where these kids are coming from. And there's just no discipline in them. They've got foul mouths. They just go off, and disrespect teachers, even disrespect my wife when she's going through there. But she corrects them, boy. My wife will not put up with that. In love, she corrects them, but she does definitely get them, right. She says, "Hey, don't be talking like that." So what's interesting is we can have an effect, and my wife does, on the children. She has an effect because when she's showing them love, they really return that back to her. Even the most difficult kids.
Yeah,
right?
She's got some cool stories. I've heard about that.
Yeah, tell us, Christina.
Oh, sorry. I
Is that
just thought it was cool.
yeah?
I don't know. I guess, man, I've had a lot of amazing students, and some of them follow our band page. So, like, hello if you're watching. Of course, I still think about a lot of you guys, and try to check in with your folks when I can. For those some of their parents have friended me on Facebook. It's nice I get to keep kind of how they're growing.
Mm-hmm.
A young lady from the first class I ever taught graduated high school last year, and I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Are
and
you
then,
serious?
That's
wild.
I've got kids from the last class that I taught before I left the classroom. They're starting high school this year, and that's just crazy to think about too.
Yeah.
because
They
man,
grow quick.
so special.
Mm.
But I mean, I could think of so many amazing stories. There was one young man who came into my class, and I remember his mom coming to orientation and saying, "Hey, just so you know, he's got a lot of anxiety. He's got a lot of like stressors on him, and he really
Mm.
struggles with his confidence. So just like, you know, if you can help him out, help him out." And I just remember seeing this kid just grow, and it wasn't just because like I'm not going to take any of the credit, but there's
Mm-mm.
something about just when there's a genuine love and a genuine community in a classroom, it makes such a huge difference.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
at the end of the year, this kid who came in and he didn't talk very much, and he was very anxious coming into the classroom. At the end of the year, we do this award ceremony, and the class has to vote on who they think is the best leader in their classroom. And the
Mhm.
entire class voted for this young man.
Yeah.
And just like the way that he stepped
Wow.
out of that room with so much confidence. And there was another young man who, like, it always stood out to me because when I taught fourth grade, he was in the class next door to mine.
Mhm.
He wasn't in my room, he was in that room. And I just remember that teacher constantly having issues and constantly, like, they would go to bat. So when I saw he was in my class for fifth grade, I was a little nervous, admittedly. And let's just say, like, there was a little bit of that power struggle at the beginning of the year, but just
Yeah.
as the year went on and as he realized that I wasn't there to fight with him, and that
Mhm.
wasn't there. One thing that I just I'm very passionate about, you know, teachers or anybody who works with kids, is the kids' choices are not a reflection of your teaching. It's a reflection of their character. And so I
Yeah.
would tell my class, what you do when you walk out of my classroom, that's on you. That's your character. So if you want to be seen as a good person, you're going to go out and make good decisions when nobody's watching.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if I'm with you or not. So if you come back and the special teacher says that you guys were acting absolutely insane, well, then you were acting like a fool and you deserve everything you got in that classroom. Now let's come back in my
Yeah.
classroom and let's make better choices, because I know that you're good kids.
Mhm.
But good kids make bad choices sometimes.
Yeah.
But this
Definitely.
one particular student, like, I saw him grow into that, and like, I don't know where he's at now, but I think about him every once in a while. On the last day of school, the whole time he was like, "Miss Hagel, I'm gonna bring you some chicken soup. I'm gonna bring you some chicken soup because you're such a nice teacher." And
Oh.
at the last day of school, he's like, "Well, I'm not allowed to bring in actual chicken soup, but I brought you some noodles and some chicken broth. I hope that's enough."
That's cute.
That's sweet,
funny.
sweet kid. All of them are. I love those kids. Man,
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and that's why I said, I've worked with young people too, and you do love them. And when they grow up, you're just like, oh my gosh, what happened to them? You know, they went, pew, you know. That's my sons too. You know, it helped having my young sons to be able to deal with youth as well. My two boys, and now who are adult men and taller than their father. I'm looking up to my sons. That's not right. I'm like, what happened? You guys, not, but they must have got their height from their grandfather. My dad was like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". So it wasn't for me. I got my height from my mother, so I'm a little, I'm average. It's about 5'10", but they're already 6'1". They're over me, and I'm like, this isn't right. but they grow up, and we need to have an effect on our young people and all people in general. You know, we're talking victims of war. This is the song that we were showing you guys today. You know, we want to be warriors for Christ. You know, that's what we're doing, is going out there and fighting a battle, because really, honestly, I think you guys would agree, we're in the last days. uh, you see the Middle East at unrest, when you see all the things going on in the world, it's like Satan's trying to do everything he can to bring everyone to hell with him. And you know, when you hear of murders and constant, you know, my wife and I are getting sick of watching the news. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I can't take it. It gets me angry. it gets me depressed. And I said, I don't want to be like that. I want to be joyful. I want to be happy. You know what I mean? All the politics and all the other things that go on that stupid TV news drives me nuts. I'm just like, no, because it ruins your day, doesn't it? It literally ruins your day to hear news. And you just had a great day, and all of a sudden you hear news, and you go, "Oh man, now I'm depressed."
So good segue here. The news that you want to hear is good news, and the scripture says, "How beautiful are the feet of those that bring good news." So
right.
Good news is that all of the news that's out there, the bad news, is all rooted in temporary things. It's all rooted in temporary ideas. It's all rooted in temporary feelings. The good news is that we can move all that stuff away and we see Jesus for who he is, not for who religion has made him, not for who, not for who religion has made him. I'll just repeat it again because it's worth repeating. But we see him for who he is as the creator of the universe, right? And now all of a sudden, he's the gap bridge from the temporal to the eternal. The funny thing about the eternal is it is both forward moving and backward moving at the same time. So in other words, when we get bad news that's only temporary, we can think about the good news. Because in James, it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask of God, who gives generously to all without finding fault.
Yeah.
Without finding fault. Name one other association of any kind that can say that. None can say that, but Jesus does. He says that.
Yeah.
Without finding fault. Ask him. But you got to stop looking at the temporary. You got to start looking at the eternal. And then all that stuff that was back there that's bad, there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. All that stuff that was bad, the bad news, goodbye. So that's good news.
Yeah, it's definitely good news. Yes. And you reminded me of something. that blessed are the feet that bring, the gospel. You know what I'm saying? There is literally a shirt. When I was a clown, I was a professional clown for a while.
When I was a clown, oh wait,
yeah, I was a clown, literally a clown with makeup. Okay, but when I was a clown, they had a shirt that said "Blessed are the feet," and it showed two clown shoes. So the big feet, the big clown shoes.
Oh boy!
So because I was with a lot of Christian clowns. And I actually got into Christian clown ministry. And so that was a lot of fun. I still know how to make twisty balloons, all the fun animals. Go. And, I still can do that to this day. I haven't done it in a while, but I still could do it. You just get the balloon blown up and twist it and there make a little animal for somebody or something like that. And yeah, that was a while ago. I got tired of wearing the makeup though because it made your face break out. Really bad.
Call him Krusty the Clown. Is all crusty makeup?
Yeah, it would make your makeup start like you'd sweat, right? And get in your makeup, and then you want to itch. But if you itch, you would smear your makeup. So you're trying not to do that, and it was awful. And I mean, I had some hot days as a clown.
Setting spray, people don't know.
Yeah, I had to learn all that stuff, but once I got used to doing the clown makeup, I did it for a while. But I just had other things come up in my life, so I had to move in a different direction. But as you know, Christina, I have drama. That's how I got into clowning, because I had drama friends that were clowns, and so I started learning something about that. And to be honest, anything that I played a role in, this was true. Any play that I was in, I was always the comic relief. I don't know why they picked me for that. Somebody says it must be they think you're funny. They never took me seriously. I'm telling you, I would try out for the serious roles, and they still would cast me as some clown. So I was meant to be a clown. Anyway, yeah. I'm sure. And Evan, you seem really funny too. You have a good sense of humor. I know you
Some
do.
people would argue it's a bad sense of humor, but that's okay. It's my sense of humor, and I'm a dad, so it's a dad sense of humor.
There you
Therefore, I
go.
make dad jokes, and all is well.
Yeah,
me.
I do. I do dad jokes too. I mess around
You
with
can't
that.
really tell until it becomes apparent.
Ah, that's pretty funny.
That was well done. That's very well done.
There we go. But hey guys, it's been really good. I'm glad that we had that video on there and showed everybody the lyric video. If you guys want to see that, tell them where they can go to find the video and when it'll be out.
The lyric video is going to drop this Friday, May 1st on YouTube, as well as our social media pages. So we'll have it on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But I would say generally the best place to find it is YouTube channel. You'll also be able to find it on our website. And just a little fun fact about the website itself. When we were distributing the music, we had to distribute it at a lower resolution than what we had originally wanted to put it out with. But if you go to our website, you'll be able to hear the song in its full resolution.
Yeah.
So it's actually a slightly better quality on the website as well.
Yeah.
So I would definitely encourage people to go there if you want to hear it at its best. Not that it sounds bad. I think that it still turned out great. But yeah, I was excited that we were able to.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. It does sound better when you actually are going to watch it on YouTube and all those others. You just have limitations sometimes on these programs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it did. I mean, it still came out. You understood what the words were, and everything was good there. And yeah, but yes, I can tell you, it rocks. It sounds even better. Once you get out there and watch it in a Friday, you all better get ready to listen to Victims of War and watch the lyric video. So, like I always do, I have someone close in prayer. And you guys decide between yourselves which one wants to do that tonight. So,
Oh, that's not one.
I guess you win.
what is that?
It's the candle. It burns the
okay.
paper. I just made that up. You feel free. Royalty free.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lord, thanks so much for today. Thanks for Papa Bear. Thanks for the relationships that you're building in this community all throughout the community across the nation. Thank you that you are the center of it. And Lord, I ask that you would open each of our minds to the words that you would have us say, the time that you would have us say them, and that they would not be our words with our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings, but they would be yours. I ask for encouragement for everyone here, those who are listening, those who are involved with this, that you would send your messenger of encouragement.
Yes.
Whatever they're dealing with, that there would be strength beneath the shaky ground, and they would feel secure, much like in the jungles in the dark jungles with the rest of the platoon, that they would feel secure with the people that they have relationships with. And Lord, for those that are suffering alone, I ask that you would provide them with even just one person, one loving person who can see them for who they are, not for what they see in themselves in the mirror, but that you would show them who you made them. I ask for your blessing on all of these people and for the time that we have coming up. And thank you for the opportunity to play cool music.
Yes.
In his name, amen.
Amen and amen. All right. Well, all right, you guys. I will definitely be in contact with you as always. And we got a whole lot more coming up, guys. Crimson Overtone has a ton more coming up. I guarantee you. We're waiting in anticipation. So
that's good. We are too.
Okay. So, guys, I love you both. Okay. God bless. And we'll be talking again. Okay. Good night.